folks, welcome to episode 3 of our third club in this ABC Journeyman Save on the Custard Profit. And we're back here at Bashley. Have things been going well? Well, we're still bottom of the league. It isn't great, but we have picked up more points. We've dropped points where I didn't expect us to. We've played poorly where we didn't expect us to, and we got a surprise result as well. So it's hard to say whether we are beyond or behind my expectations, but unfortunately the board are already saying they're disappointed with things, considering all they wanted was 18th place. We're just 2 points off that, so what are they talking about? Anyway folks, today we're going to be playing Royal Wotton Basset. They sit in 8th place. I think they might have just picked up a loss. Hopefully we've got enough about ourselves to get a draw out of this. We've had difficulties, absolutely difficulties. We'll have a look at the form in a second. We've lost games, as I said, where we might not have expected to do quite as badly. But let's look first of all at the transfers, because we've had a few transfers that haven't kind of worked out for us. One of which is Piers Pullman, whose loan has been cut short. Didn't really do that well for us. And we've also loaned out Jay Flaherty, who was one of the goalkeepers. I think I might have shown this one last time. We've got another loan that's currently happening, James Barlow, who's going to go to Oakhampton on loan. I think he doesn't look a bad player, just very, very slow for a winger, but maybe someone who can develop into a decent player. The problem we've got is, can we afford to keep any players around? Maybe not. So this is the form as things stand. And yes, it's been a disappointing run after that 2-0 victory against Helston Athletic. We lost at home against Street. Street are not doing well in the league, so I was really quite surprised at this. And not just with the result, the performance again was absolutely dreadful. Given that we've played 3 good games, I thought we played well in all 3 of those games, had really good spells. We just didn't even turn up here, which worried me to death. Played Horndine next up and ended up losing this 3-1. It was a little bit better, but again, this was a team that was riding high in the league, as far as I remember. So, yeah, a loss there was disappointing. Andy Davis with the goal, and we did pick up things up right at the end, but it was too little too late. And then losing here against Poulton, this was disappointing because we were better here. Was nothing very much between the two sides at all. They got a goal, we just didn't score from our chances, but there were very, very few chances. Andy Davis got sent off, and then we were in all sorts of trouble. They got a player sent off late on, but it didn't really matter at that stage. They'd done enough to win it. So we got into this next game against Moneyfields, bottom of the table. We needed a victory, and we duly got one. Penalty early on from Nicolau, which was great, and a brilliant finish from Vivaldi Kayembe. He just slotted it past the goalkeeper with very little room to spare. And then a real surprise draw against Frome. You see, we changed formations into something a little crazy. Gleeson and Joyce are the 2 scorers. We scored 2 pretty much late goals. Didn't really deserve anything out of them, but it's pretty nice to see us getting them. We've had to change formation. This is because Gleeson is one player that I don't want to get rid of, but annoyingly his club and he are saying he wants to play in this role, and I've got no way of putting him in that role without taking one of these strikers out, apart from doing things like this. So we're experimenting at the minute to see whether this formation works. I'm thinking in non-league, where the midfield doesn't really exist and people are just booting the ball either end of the field, maybe it's not such a problem, especially if he's on a supporting role, so he can at least come back here and Field will just hopefully pick the ball up and then kick it down the pitch. But that's kind of where we are at the minute. Don't really know if this formation is going to work. Let me know what you think about it. Are we just going to be too lightweight in the middle? We may well be. But that's what we're going with. We're going to be playing Royal Wotton Basset today. Let's get in there and see how we go. Well, we're at home, as you can see from the giant office block, where we, I guess, keep the tea lady. Let's start. So, Early ball up top. We need our front men to start picking things up. Kiembe's done well here. I thought we were through, I have to say. And, oh, dear me. How did he keep hold of that? We had two players on him. Didn't pick it up. And Britain here on the right side. Looked like we were going to get the chance here. And it's in the end, it's going to Royal Wotton Basset. And the goalkeeper has just let that through him. That is so rubbish. Goalkeeper, I'm really thinking about changing the goalkeeper, but what we have in waiting is someone even worse, and I'm not sure. There's so many mistakes though like this. I thought he was good, and he's just made so many errors like this that we can't really afford to keep him in the team, because if he keeps making these mistakes, then we've got no hope. Another chance there from Wotton Basset over the top with that header though. All the chances, well, we've seen highlights for them, but we are getting chances ourselves. Nicely done. Kiembe picks it up. Oh my good God. That was not the defensive work Kiembe needs to be doing. But we've got the chance here. Woodridge into field. Our one midfielder. And the ball's out. And that is the problem, isn't it? But we've picked it up. Dida, who I thought was going to be our big hope in the centre of defence. Kiembe, we desperately need him to start doing something. It's gone straight through to them. Front men are absolutely useless. Right, here's Field. I mean, he takes so long to control that. Nicolau, beautiful ball in. It's Kiembe. Oh, he had a shot. Well done. We had a highlight. We'll take that for now. I'd love to see a goalkeeping error on the other teams, for the other team, because we see, oh no, Jan Stanley, and it's 2-0 down, and oh dear, we are, I don't know why we're on defensive. It's a worry. It is a worry. Could we get sacked twice in the space of a year? That would be fairly embarrassing. As I said, I hadn't been sacked in like 2 football managers. Well, it's pleasing to see Dr. Benji got himself sacked as well, didn't he, recently? So a few times on his save. So all is not lost. Maybe it's a harder game. But I was hoping to do something. I really thought we'd do something here. Richard Knoll. It's into Nicolau, our ineffective strikers. Jesus. That's offside, isn't it? Of course it is. If it goes in, it is definitely offside. Yeah, there we go. That's the way FM works, isn't it? If you score a goal, it's offside. I mean, he's so far offside. He tried his best. That's how far offside he needs to be to have chance to score goals. He's useless, I have to say. I thought he was going to be the player we relied on, and it turns out I'm relying on everyone but him. Here's Gleeson, though. Oh, come on. Make me eat my words, mate. He has. I will eat those words happily if you score another one. And he's been missed so many of those. He has missed, I mean, so many. But here's Fields. Gleeson, that's what we need. Static defence, and actually finished it. That is awesome. So, half-time. Looking at the stats, looking at the XG, all those sort of things, I think a 2-1 result at the minute is exactly what is warranted. We've had chances, we've had the ball in the back of the net twice, and we are relying a bit on Mr. Gleeson to create the chances, which is a bit of a problem, but it's fine for now. It's fine. They've got all the possession, but we have come back into it. We've had one shot in the last 25 minutes. We need to create more. But we've got the ball here. We are our left back, and this is a massive thing. The left back that we've been trying to get back, and it's wide there from Kiembe. He's been away also, injured all since we've been here. He's on the way back now from injury, so there's a chance getting him back in the side. We haven't got to play someone who is not a left back, which will be good. Here's Gleeson. He's running the game now in that position. Maybe he was slightly right. Monk's been useless on this left side as well, I have to say. Come on. Go on, make me. I've said it now. You've got to do something to prove me wrong. Why hasn't it worked? Oh, Fields just piggy in the middle with him. Good God. Is he going to get sent off? Oh, well done, Nicolau. Gleeson loses it, but at least he won it back. And there's no one getting anywhere near that. Spalding. Captain Spalding. If anyone's watched A House of a Thousand Corpses, great film. Nicolau! Look at that. I mean, is it deserved? I don't know where I was going with that, yeah. If you haven't watched A House of a Thousand Corpses, it's a bit of a gruesome film, but it's a fun film for you horror fans who haven't seen it. Nicely done. 2-2. A 2-2 draw I would take at this point, but fingers crossed and everything. We look the side who's most likely to... Shouldn't say it. I didn't say it. No, game. I did not say it. I didn't say it. Oh, bloody hell. I'm waiting for the mistake. I was almost convinced it would be there, but we picked it up. Nicolau. He's found Monk on the left side, who somehow keeps it in. Kiembe. Oh, my God. Is that... We allowed that one as well. And it was a beautiful move. What? Oh my! I mean, well done. He just smashed it into Monk's face. He keeps running, and then puts Kiembe in, and he had no right to finish him there at this level. He had no right at all. That should have been over the stand, but I'm pleased. I was pleased as punch with that. Right, focus. I can see what could happen here. It might not be good, but we are on an absolute. Got our tails up, not between our legs. Here's Woodridge, who's probably the only player in this whole side that I actually think is any good. Nicolau. Oh my God. Flipping heck. We can play football again. That's Dida. Finds Nicolau. He's made the run. And what's this? Richard Knoll in space. Not up there, but wow. Who would have thought this? I mean, I'm going to take nobody off. Admittedly, here they come. They're just I mean, imagine that. It'd be just a cruel and unusual if they let us go 2-0 up and they beat us 5-4. Right, one change. James Lewis is coming on for Tajay Fields in that midfield role, because it's unfair for him to be the whole midfielder for the entirety of the game, I think. Here's Ardlo Hanlon here running through. Here's Kiembe. Can we get another one? No, we can't. But Monk's running away with it. 88 minutes on the clock. Ardlo Hanlon's... Oh no, he's got it. It's not the most convincing of challenges, but my God, I'm not expecting this. And here, he's got a chance for a hat-trick. I mean, the man is slower than... I don't know, a stone trying to pass through concrete. Corner. Oh, don't. Another corner here. Kiembe. In it comes. Ball comes out to James Lewis. The oh God, the control of the man. Captain Spalding, and he's way over. One change here. We're a bit tired. We're going to bring on Mark Thomas, who you've not heard of. He is a youngster who I don't think looks terribly bad, and I think, considering the lack of forwards we have at this club, seems like a good player to actually have in our first team. And there we go, a 4-2 victory with what I would describe as a cracking second half performance. We absolutely turned it on. Richard Knoll, unbelievably, was fantastic. The entire attacking portion of the team were fantastic. All five of them were great. Monk, Gleeson, Kiembe, Richard Knoll and Nicolau all played well. We have not seen anything like that. We've probably had one of them play well as the best we've done previously. So that is an example of how we can play if we get things right. We need to remember that. Right, here is the big news. We are not only off the bottom of the league, well, the entire bottom three are speeding their way towards some of these lower teams down here. It's a bit of a worry for all of them, but we are on the same points now as Moneyfields, which is great. Moneyfields did beat Frome, surprisingly. Swindon Supermarine, they lost in the end. So yeah, we're not far away from where we need to be here, and Tiverton, I guess, is what we're aiming for because they are struggling a little bit. Have we got to play them soon? We will have a look. So not a huge amount of games remaining, but we've got enough here. If we can play like this with 3 games unbeaten, if we can continue to play like this more often than we don't, we should be doing all right. We're not going to play Cadbury Heath because we're not going to play either of those games because that's a guaranteed loss. I think the Swindon Supermarine game at home probably is going to be important, as is the Tiverton game. And what we might do is a double header where we play both of these games because those feel 2 really important games. And I think you'd like to see them. Anyway, folks, let me know what you feel about this new formation. It creates chances, it seems. It also gives a lot of them up. But if we can do what we did today, it doesn't really matter, does it? If you enjoyed the episode, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you for the next one. Goodbye.